Hello, can you hear me? Okay, great. I think we'll get started. So, as I explained in the description, the purpose today really is to show you what SkyMax Pro 4 looks like and how it behaves, what it does to frames, all that sort of thing. And if anyone wants to see specific scenarios with the weather, happy to try those. So, Craig, obviously, you want to see some fog, so we can do that shortly. So I'll take off, and then we can have a look at it in more detail. Cullen, I think they both have their pros and cons. I've played with them pretty much all day. Um, it depends on the scenario and the situation. Sometimes this looks better, and other times X Enviro looks better. So it's difficult to say really. I don't think I can say really one is better than the other. Has anyone already tried SkyMax Pro 3, 4 even? Um, I've I've tried the fog, and I think it works okay. Um, although I think distance-wise, it's not working accurately. But we can give it a try shortly. Hi, Parser. Yeah, I think the clouds look a bit cartoonish, to be honest. I know they're supposed to be HD. At certain angles, it looks quite good. So there, it looks quite good. But um, looking at the front like that, it looks a bit cartoonish. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean it's right. So I'm not sure what you mean by song of aircraft. I assume maybe you mean the audio, the sound. Yes, pass. I believe it is San Diego by Mr. I love this plane, and it sounds great too. And this airport is actually freeware, for those of you that don't know. In fact, I think this even San Diego scenery is freeware as well. It's pretty detailed, isn't it? I've got my settings turned up quite high, but it's okay. It seems smooth. I don't mind flying helicopters from time to time. I've never really done a shared cockpit, and I wouldn't know how to. So yeah, so this is the current weather situation that I set up manually using SkyMax Pro. Well, the weather within X-Plane, but this is the new SkyMax 4. It is taking a bit of a hit on my frames, to be honest. I can already feel it coming into the clouds right now. Hi Philip. So it depends really. I think if you bought this my setup ready-made from a company or retailer, um, you probably have to pay somewhere in region between. If I was to take a guess, I don't know what the costs are in the US, but here in the UK, be something between $3,000 and $4,000. I've seen them at that price. I built this myself for just under $2,000, so you can save quite a lot of money if you build it yourself, or if you at least know someone, a friend or a colleague who can help you build it. You would save a lot of money. In terms of sticks or yoke or whatever, I don't actually have any of that. I just use a joystick, which is the Saytech X52 Pro. It has the throttle, rudder, everything, so it's all I need really. So as you can see at this sort of at these sort of angles, the clouds look pretty good. The HD textures do add a lot of realism to it, as you can see. It does look good, but it is at a cost of frames, unfortunately. With XEnviro, a lot of the clouds look a lot more 2D than they do in Skymaxx, but the FPS is, in my opinion, better in XEnviro than it is in Skymaxx. So let's change it up a little bit, I think. So let's add more visibility. Let's get rid of or let's lift the clouds, I think. Let's descend and have a look at the fog. There was something else that I want to show you actually, and it's the lighting at night. So I personally prefer the lighting of the clouds at night in SkyMaxx than in XEnviro. In XEnviro it's always yellow. I know it's supposed to be reflecting the sort of the city lights, I guess. But when you're in the middle of the desert and it's still doing it, it's a bit weird. So in SkyMaxx clouds, you do feel like you're going in the clouds. In XEnviro, it's just like going through a thin piece of paper. And when you look to the side, you can see it go past you. So I do like this effect in SkyMaxx Pro, to be honest. I do prefer it. It feels like more sort of like actual clouds. Okay, I'm just going to descend and let's have a look at the fog. Elliptic, actually, are you referring to SkyMaxx Pro? Yes, LM over. Giveaway soon, so for those of you who are new to the channel, once I hit 500 subscribers, I'm actually giving away X-Plane 11 for free. And I'll be announcing the prize draw as soon as I get close to 500. So to take part, you basically have to be subscribed to my channel, so I can use some of the giveaway prize draw tools that analyzes who your subscribers are. So if you are a subscriber, you are in chance to win X-Plane 11, the full version. Philip, do you mean the settings of my X-Plane or the actual computer? Just added some reverse thrusters just to speed up my descent. It's not something I would recommend doing in real life. San Diego has to be one of my favorite cities. I absolutely loved it when I went. I did a road trip of California a few years ago, and this was the place we started off, me and my friends, and it was really good, beautiful city. But I think my favorite out of the whole trip, so we went San Diego, LA, Santa Barbara, up to San Francisco, and then from San Francisco to Bakersfield, and then ended up in Las Vegas. I would have to say San Francisco was my favorite. Very beautiful city. Very unpredictable with the weather, mind. I don't have the specific. I mean, I have listed my hardware on my channel on some of the videos. If you look at the description of the videos, you'll see the description, the hardware spec. But I don't have any videos as to how to set up a computer. I wouldn't know where how to do that, to be honest. There's probably a lot better videos on YouTube that will tell you how to do that. Yes, Darren, I have a mic finally. I do have a bit of a cold, so my voice is a little bit croaky, but I guess it's better than no voice. Well, you can be the judge of that, I guess. But yeah, Philip, it's important if you're building a PC. It's not just about the graphics card. The CPU is very, very important. Because if you get a very powerful graphics card and the CPU is weak, it creates a bottleneck, and it's pretty much pointless then. So a lot of this stuff that's going on here, like traffic, is all rendered using the CPU. So if it can't cope with that, the graphics is pretty, it's pretty pointless really. Hi Judman. Yeah, a little bit early. Um, it's only going to be for an hour or so. The idea of it is just to showcase SkyMax Pro 4. Been playing around with it today, along with Xenviro. It's pretty good. There are a few flaws with it, so I mentioned earlier. So depending, I mean, now I think it looks okay, but if the visibility is quite high, the clouds look a bit little cartoonish. Um, Someone mentioned earlier about fog. So as you can see, you can add fog, and it looks quite good. I can probably lower it even visibility. Let's do that. There we go. So just as you would expect, yeah, it's pretty foggy. Let's turn it up a little bit again. Let's see what we can do with this overcast. I tried overcast earlier and it did really affect my frames. Does look good, but I mean, when I say it affects my frames, I'm used to sort of flying in. It probably sounds really bad, but normally sort of used to the 50 FPS, 50 to 60. So with this kind of thing, it drops it to around 30. In fact, I can show you. For those of you who don't know how to check your frame rates, you can do that by just ticking this button here. It's not too bad, so it's hovering around the 43 mark. I think the area I tried earlier was a lot more densely populated, I guess. So towards water, as you can see, it's around the 60, 70 mark. Obviously, there's nothing there. Sorry, I will land in just a few minutes. So, Craig, what did you do wrong? Was it IVR, the RVR? Because I've made that mistake before. I lowered the fog and I thought, why is it not foggy? And then you just have to click the RVR button. Yeah, I do whine a lot, especially when it's to do with frames. The good thing about X-Plane, I find, for those of you who are still on FSX or P3D, I spend a lot less time tweaking X-Plane than I would have done on FSX or P3D. It's just a lot smoother. Even if I'm down to around the 30 FPS, it's pretty smooth, to be fair. And you can see I'm hovering around the 44 mark, coming into sort of a pretty detailed airport. Yeah, I'll try not to botch the landing. I think this airport, the scenery is amazing for freeware. It really is very detailed. reverse thrusters on this plane is very very powerful. You can slow down pretty quick. So as you can see with the weather, well, SkyMax Pro switched on, settings fairly high, running around 40 FPS, 50 in some, in some scenarios, but it's pretty good overall, pretty smooth. I feel it's important to see the replay of the landing. So any specific weather scenarios you guys want to see? I do have Xenviro as well, so I can get that switched on as well if you wanted to see the difference. Although Xenviro doesn't allow you to customize your own weather, which is definitely a negative point from me. That's a bit better, isn't it, a Judgment for a landing? This might be a little bit too dark for you guys on the stream. Tell me if it is, I can turn it back up again. By the way, I tried this on XP11 and it had a lot of bugs. So even from this distance, for example, if I had the landing lights on, see that cloud above there, it would be lit up from my landing lights. I'm pretty sure landing lights are strong, but not that strong. And also, the clouds don't appear at night unless you have the landing light switched on, which is a bit bizarre. Thank you, Craig. Let's just clear the weather a little bit. Increase the visibility. A bit better. So as I was explaining earlier, I think it depends on the scenario that you're flying, time of day, weather. I think SkyMax and Xenviro both have their pros and cons. In fact, we can make it daytime now and show you. So this is what it looks like in daytime with SkyMax Pro, obviously with overcast. But if I switch on, and this is what it looks like with default X-plane clouds, not great. And also not very good on the frame rates, as you can see. Although the clouds look a lot more realistic than the other two, I would say, but in terms of density. But I think that's what's killing the frame rates. Again, you could probably argue that 30, 40 FPS is not that bad, but depends on your system really. Okay, is the sound better for you guys now? That's okay, I didn't actually say much. As soon as you said there was an issue with the sound, I tried not to speak too much. The bit you may have missed, I was just explaining about X-Enviro. So the water looks a little bit too blue in my opinion. The sky looks good, the haze looks good, especially in the distance as you can see there. But it does affect my frame rates. It's definitely taken a hit, so you can see it in that view there, it's around the 36, something like that. I was to load SkyMax Pro instead. Earlier I was getting roughly the same, but it just felt smoother, even though it's the same frames. It just feels a lot smoother than SkyMax Pro for some reason. So it's around the 40 mark, 45. So it's about 10 FPS more. Even with maximum visibility, I can actually turn it down a little bit to match what it was a second ago. That's more like it. So SkyWest, X-Enviro doesn't allow you to set your own weather. It's annoying, yeah. It only downloads, or it only creates real weather, and it does it pretty well. But yeah, I like sometimes to customize my own weather. Apparently they are going to do an update so you can control your own weather, but we'll see. I'm just going to change your location actually. Some of you will be familiar with this airport. I fly there quite a lot. It's near where I live, so that's why I tend to do a lot of videos around this area. Just have to wait for it to load now. Might take a few minutes. Okay, let's make it a bit brighter. So the other thing is X-Enviro and SkyMax Pro, the sort of the sky settings vary a little bit. So this is I think SkyMax Pro. Yeah, and then if you want to see X-Enviro, although the weather might change. Hi Josh. So that's what it looks like with the X-Enviro. I personally prefer X-Enviro sky textures. I think it looks a lot more realistic. And also the haze and fog, I think, is rendered a little bit better in X-Enviro. just be me though. So yeah, unfortunately I can't really change the weather with Xenviro. We have to put up with what it's actually doing outside now. But let's change the aircraft and let's fly higher. Yeah, I know what you mean about the circle. Yeah, it's just a weird way of how it renders it, I guess. Not sure why, but that's how it does it. Can you guys still hear the aircraft, by the way? Okay, I'll try and sort out the sound in just a second. There's an aircraft at the end of the runway. Oh, two. There we go. Let's go through that one. I've turned it up just a little bit more. Let me know if it sounds okay. Perfect. Good. So I'm just trying to climb out over this weather so we can do another test. So, quick question: how does the graphics look for you guys on your screen? Is it smooth? Does it look high quality? I hope I've set it up correctly, because there's a lot of playing about that I had to do to get it looking looking as good as it is on my screen. Yeah, I think that view there looks it looks really good, and I'm pretty sure SkyMax Pro can't replicate that. I think it looks very realistic. That's interesting. I'm only turning off my mic because I'm having a coughing fit. Otherwise, you guys are going to keep hearing my coughing. Just noticed something which is a little bit annoying. So I'm pretty sure this was fixed in XP11 when I tried XEnviro, but it seems like it's still here in XP10. Notice these sort of linear effect. There's a lot, sort of like a linear effect there. I assume they would fix that. See there, these lines, and you can see sort of like a diamond there underneath, which is really bizarre. I mentioned this to a couple of people, but they thought I was crazy. There it is on video. I'm just going to switch it up now to SkyMax Pro. So right now frame rate's around, it's quite low actually, around 30 mark. See how it compares. So it seems that SkyMax Pro is using the default sky lighting or textures. That's interesting, I did not notice that earlier. Thank you, Nate. So let's get some weather in here. In fact, let me just try and grab the weather from the internet for SkyMax Pro. Should be the same as Xenviro. Yeah, Craig, it seems to be working fine for me, as long as you switch it off. Xenviro does not like fly with lure, so I disable that. If you have that switched on whilst using Xenviro, your screen will flash. It's a bit bizarre, I don't know why it does that, but it does. Yeah, so it hasn't really rendered the same weather settings, unfortunately. But we can set a random situation. Whoa, okay, rain. Yeah, actually that's probably a good thing to show you. So they've obviously added 3D particles for rain, and let me just try and sort something out. 1 second, guys. So in the settings we can actually change the settings of the actual precipitation, or the rain. Notice the light there reflecting off the clouds from the landing lights. Is pretty cool, isn't it? But if you notice the frame rate, so it's really taking a hit when you go through the clouds. Also the lighting affects the rain. Notice if I switch it on, the rain particles are a little bit clearer. You can change the size of the raindrop as well. I think that's probably a little bit more realistic, isn't it? The brightness of it. Yeah, exactly. Those frames are not great in the clouds. I noticed that with SkyMax Pro. I mean, I have a pretty powerful machine, and see, this is the kind of thing I get, sort of pauses and the frame dropped to 4 FPS. It's very strange. I'm getting major stutters now. So as I said earlier, I mean, in certain situations the clouds look great, so that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe the rain particles might have an effect on the FPS. I mean, we could try it. We can set it back. Don't think so. Don't think really it had that much of an effect. From that angle, I think the clouds look a little bit cartoony. Again, it's my opinion on that. You might disagree. Hi Deepam. Yes, of course you can. Just move back a little bit. It's a pretty good cockpit. This is the Flight Factor 757. It's pretty detailed. Yeah, it is. It looks a little bit like cotton, really. Yeah, I think this is a lot better than FSX, to be honest, Deepam. It's a lot more realistic. It's a lot more fluid. You can do a lot more with it than you can with FSX. And it's a lot more scalable, and what I mean by that, you know, Laminar researchers are obviously still building this sim, improving it. The FSX code can't really be manipulated that much. That's probably why they're struggling to make it 64-bit. Laminar Research probably will find a way. They've got money. I'm just gonna turn it back to XEnviro and see what happens. Yeah, to me, see, that looks a lot more realistic. Although the clouds in the distance not as good as SkyMax Pro 4. So that's what I'm saying, really. There are pros and cons with both, and you still get this horrible linear effect in the clouds, or the haze. It's a bit strange. Not heard of that one, to be honest. So I think I've showed you everything that I wanted to show you. So I've got another 5 minutes to go, really, before I have to end this stream. I've got a load of videos that I need to make before Thursday. I'm going away for a week, so I need to get a load out so I can publish them, you know, daily whilst I'm away. But if anyone wants to see something for the last 5 minutes, happy to show you. Josh, I would say not really. Maybe a few here and there, but no, I think they're built quite well, so they are FPS friendly. I always compare it to the PMDG stuff. Well, a lot of people compare stuff to PMDG, and I think it's a lot better than the PMDG. Maybe the texture quality might not be, arguably, but in terms of systems and FPS and all that sort of thing, I think personally it's better. Again, everything I say is my opinion, really. It doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Yeah, Craig, a lot of people do that. Some have both sims installed, which is perfectly fine. I just I got more stressed out with P3D than I needed to, so it ended up not being a very enjoyable experience. So I deleted it and I just stuck with this. I've not regretted it really. Dubai default scenery is very basic. I'm yet to see someone create something as good as I think it's Aerosoft that did Dubai for P3D or FSX. That was really good. But of course, in FSX and P3D, you don't get ortho for XP. So I'm just going to turn up the light, and you can see. So I'm using Bing Maps. So it really does add a lot of realism to the flying experience. My system specs, you can see that in the description of my videos, but essentially I'm running at 4.7 gigahertz, 16 gig RAM and a GTX 1080. Hi Jared, yeah, I agree. I think it does limit them being 32-bit. Parser I would, but I don't actually have Africa installed either. So I think Asia, South America and Africa I'm yet to download. I'm just waiting for the final release before I download those. There's no point really. I'm just testing things out, not really doing any serious stuff. I don't know, Josh. I'm having some issues with the sound. The mic is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and apparently you guys don't hear any sounds when I mute the mic, and there's all sorts of weird things going on. So I think I'm gonna have to get a new mic. Yeah, I think your specs are not too bad, but as Judgment says, RAM, you need more RAM. I've got 16, which seems to be fine, but a lot of people are telling me to get 32. I don't know why. I haven't really had any RAM issues, but apparently X-Plane likes more RAM. This is the 757 flight factor. That's the other thing for you guys who are new to X-Plane. You can very easily customize your views and that sort of thing, and also the fact that you can make it daytime and nighttime very quickly is also pretty cool. You don't have to wait half an hour for it to load different time settings. Downside about X-Plane, there's no seasons, believe it or not. It's just the one season. But a lot of people don't notice that really, because I don't think, well, I'm sure a lot of people do, but I never really care too much about seasons, so it doesn't bother me too much. Hi Peter. Sorry, you're gonna have to put up on my coughing because if if I mute it, if I keep muting it, you're not gonna hear the sounds apparently. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I really want is I want laminar research to be able to allow us to take advantage of SLE, because I'll just immediately get a second GTX 1080. I'm sure it will make a huge difference if it was compatible. Too wide. Nothing that we can't fix though. Hi, Sadat. No, I haven't actually. I completely forgot. I'll try and remember. It just means going into the BIOS and checking it, unless anyone knows how I can do that without having to go into the BIOS, and then I can find out quite quickly for you. Josh, this is X-Plane 10, yes. I haven't been really flying it very much recently because XP11 is really good. Although, you know, obviously it has its bugs and whatever. But I tried SkyMax Pro 4 on XP11 and it was very buggy. So I thought I'd load up XP10 and show you guys. CPU Z. Okay, I'll have to. I think that's something I can download. Sure, I will do. I'll let you know. Judman, I think when I tried SLE, I can't remember, maybe in P3D or some other game. I think actually no, it was Battlefield. It made a huge difference going in SLE, my old card. But I think the flight sims don't really support it, from what I understand. I'm not sure when the next live stream will be. I'll be going away on Thursday for a week, so it's going to be near impossible to do a stream. But I'll be working on a number of new videos, so you know you can see those at least, I guess, if you're interested. It's great parking, isn't it? that's it now, guys. Any questions? Anything else you would like to see in my next videos or streams? Said that, I'm just going to try and download CPU-Z very quickly and see if I can tell you what it is. No problem, Craig. Yeah, I do have the IGX 737. I can load it up very quickly for you, show you it. Yeah, I would like to do more scenic stuff. So yesterday I bought an additional solid state hard drive, a 500 gig one, just for my Author for XP maps. So I'll be downloading more areas and showing you guys. Not sure why it's asking me to activate it. It's a bit strange, but I can do that very quickly. Actually, I need to. Let's do that. Okay, I'm not going to bother with that now. Can't find. I need to log into Xviation and all that, but I should still be able to show you what it looks like. I use a joystick, so it's Satek X52 Pro. That's what I use. Okay, so CPU-Z. Not sure if I've used this before. Yep, I can. So core voltage is 1.269, if that helps set that. If you're interested in my XP10 settings, that's what it looks like. So lateral field of view is around 80. I find that I can turn this up in certain scenarios and it doesn't really have that much of a hit on my frame rates. I've even noticed that sometimes it improves my frame rates, which is really bizarre. CPU cooling. I'm using water cooling actually. I could not tell you what it's what it's called. I've had this set up for about a year now, so I can't remember most of it. No problem, Sadat. You have been waiting for a while, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. Thanks, Josh. Take care. Right, I think that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me again, and for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, please do. I am doing a giveaway at 500 subs, and the giveaway is XP11. So if you subscribe, you might be in a chance to win that. More details to follow soon. I'm going to go and work on some new videos because I'm going away on Thursday for a week. And hope to see you guys soon. Take care, bye.